Ben, seen a notification? If there's no notification, it means it hasn't worked. Yeah. Pardon? Well, you've got one. Right, sound. Yeah, we're live. Right, chuck a stream on your, I know some professional, we're on stream now, but chuck a link down and we'll have a go. For some reason, it's not... I'll start in a... 2 seconds, guys, we're just prepping and everything, we'll get going on. Got any questions for boys, lob them in. Screenshot would be nice, yes. Is the audio good, Ben? 2 seconds, guys, we're just prepping and everything, we'll get going on. Got any questions for boys, lob them in. And everything, we'll get going on. Got any questions for boys? 2 seconds, guys. Is the audio good, Ben? We have got a problem. I don't know why you two are not in. I don't know why you two are. Oh, my desktop audio is way down this way. Right, Ben, speak quite loud. Right, Ben, speak quite loud.
Ben. I can see on the screen now, yeah. Where?
Yeah, right. Audio's good. Right, should we get into it, boys? Or are you gonna wait for people to join?
Yeah, sure. Get into it.
We'll wait for...
I got a place to be. Just, people can watch it's live anyway. Just people will just go back and watch it.
Yeah. So, right, guys, this is interview / press conference with boys Ben Harley. It's been announced. As you know, 4 former opponents of mine, and it's like a kind of like a round robin thing. We've all fought each other. It's all good. So, Ben, Ben's here, Harley's here.
Hello.
Right. So, Ben, what do you think of this fight? Why did you take the fight?
Well, first off, thanks to everyone for watching. But I took this fight because I'm trying to stay active at the moment because of the pandemic, and I can't really go to a boxing gym or get a real amateur fight yet. So this is just for some fun and to get myself ready for the real amateur fights when they come. And obviously, because you guys had your fight the other day, I was pretty impressed by Harley's performance. So it was better than I was expecting, and I thought me and him would be a good matchup.
Harley, why did you take Ben?
Bro, like, I fought you, and I was like, yeah, man, I want another fight straight away. So, like, who's the target? And I just seen Ben, innit?
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Simple answer, bro. Simple answer.
What do you think of the fight? How do you think the fight will play out, boys?
You go first, Tom.
I'll be honest. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I'll probably win, but I don't know how it's gonna play out. I'll be honest with
Ben, how do you think it'll play out? Do you think with height and reach you can cause a few issues, or do you think it'll be a battle of mixed ranges, so like long range, medium range, up close in the pocket? What do you expect?
I'll be honest, I think you're going to see a bit of everything in this fight. I think you're going to see shades
Yeah.
of range boxing. I think you're going to see us exchanging in the pocket. I think you're going to see some clinch work. I think you're going to get the full
Nah.
package with this
Nah,
fight.
no clinch work from me. Not from me. That's could never be me.
Whatever happens, really. And when I see the fight coming out, I see me winning a hard-fought decision after 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Ben, do you think you're fighting too regularly? Like, do you think like you're seeing too much into the future? Like, are you interested in it?
What was that again? Sorry.
Do you think you're fighting too often and like you're thinking ahead too much? Like I know you had the fight planned with Conor Jones, and I know because of reasons that fight couldn't happen. Do you think your focus isn't where it should be?
The fight with Conor Jones will happen. It's just been delayed. It's given me enough time to be able to have another fight. But I feel like fighting every 3 to 4 weeks is nice for me because it's like having amateur fights because there's some amateur boxers that fight this often. So it's just kind of getting me in the mindset of have a fight. In front of, even if not many people are going to be there, the amount of people who will watch the video, hundreds of people, and I get used to the routine then as well. So the nerves take less of an effect on me. And, take a week off then, and then 2-3 weeks back into training for the next opponent and having it with someone else. I like the routine.
Yeah, I was going to say is 4 weeks is like an optimum time zone for you, is it? To like say recover for a couple of days, then get straight back into your training routine.
Yeah, as of right now, 3-4 weeks is a good amount of time to train. And also depending on, it all depends on the previous fight. Like I didn't take much damage in my fight against Sam, all due respect. But I didn't need much time to recover. I needed a couple of days, whereas with the Mark fight, I needed about a week. For this fight, I think I'm probably gonna need a couple of weeks because, like I said, I see it going 6 rounds in a hard-fought fight. I probably will need probably take more damage in this fight than my other two, but it's all about giving more out than I take. But I probably need more than a week of recovery after this fight and all day. That's all.
Do you think with the, let's just say it straight, Sam wasn't the best of opponents, right? Do you think with the levels are going to increase? Do you think you needed someone a bit better before to get you more prepared for this fight, or do you think like you can adapt?
I feel like in terms of getting more prepared or getting better or worse opponents, I think I'm going in the right direction. I'll say that. But Mark Boswell has had street fights. He's a scrappy dude. He's not afraid to get hit, and he's not afraid of a fight. But he hadn't had much boxing experience, and obviously that was a hard fight for me. It became a technical draw because he couldn't really complete the fight. But up to the 5 rounds at that point, it was relatively close. But he, took most of the rounds in my opinion. But obviously we called it a technical draw. And then obviously I thought, why didn't I make it less rounds? And obviously I had that offer from Sam then as well, saying he wanted to fight the winner. So I said, sure, let's do it at this day or whatever. And we organised it before I even fought Mark Boswell. And of course then, after the fight with Mark happened, we went to it then with me and Sam. But after that fight, I did realise that I needed more of a step up because I feel like in my mind I worked up Sam to be more than he ended up being. And like I said, all due respect to Sam, like he took some behinds, but he wasn't as good as I was initially expecting. But obviously, I still expected to win, but not as.
Ben, why do you sound so professional, bro? Like, yo, chill.
I've made how many videos now? You know what I mean? I guess I'm used to it now.
Yeah, nah, chill, bro, chill. Nah, yeah, go on, yeah, stop.
Do you want anything more to say, or did you answer it completely? Did you think?
Well, obviously, with this fight now, this is going to be my biggest challenge since you right now. In terms of how many question marks there are about this fight, I think there's more uncertainties about this fight, just like it was with me and you. Like, just because obviously I'm a very technical boxer, but I tend not to get in brawls, and I tend not to favour as well against fighters who are in my face putting pressure on, and that's exactly what Harley did, or Harley was doing a lot of the time against you. Trying to get in your face, trying to put on the pressure. So it's like, yeah, I'm a better boxer, but in terms of styles matchup, this is going to be a really interesting fight.
What do you think of
Ooh,
what do you think of
I
Ben's
bet the
boxing ability, Hal?
Wait there, 2 seconds. It's a good question. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool, but I don't think it's better than mine.
Have you seen weaknesses in the game where you can expose, or you think you can expose?
Well, Ben's long, innit?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. After I'm capitalizing him being long, I just hit him with some body shots.
Do you think it will go 6, or do you think you can catch up?
Third round. I reckon. I'm saying third round. I reckon he's gonna get gassed out, see. So that's just me.
Have you seen enough weaknesses in the past 3 fights for you to have you seen enough weaknesses in them?
Nah, to be honest, I didn't really watch. I haven't seen the past 3 fights. I only watched him and yours, and he didn't look too dandy in our one. I'm gonna be honest with you, he didn't look too dandy at all. But it's been a year since then, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So things gonna change. Who knows?
What do you think of the clash of styles with obviously Ben's left-handed, you're right-handed? Do you think that's going to make a difference, or do you not think of it?
It might do, but to be honest, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm still gonna. Yeah, I don't really care. Nah, it's forever, anyway.
So Ben, with it being 6-3s, what do you think? How do you think it'll play out?
Well, I think first 2 rounds are going to be from what I predict right now, I think the first 2 rounds, however they go, who's going to win the fight from that point onwards. It's who has it in them to give it more than the other person, really.
Yeah.
Boxing is cool, and being able to look cool, look nice with boxing technique is one thing, but it's who can dish out the most punishment in the allotted time. So I think, like I said, after the first 2 rounds, you're gonna know, and we'll see how it goes. I think the reason I'm gonna win this fight is because, like, one thing that made your fight with Harley pretty close, and what made it a draw, obviously, was the speed difference. Harley's relatively quick, you know what I mean? So, and that's where he started racking up these quick punches. Maybe not the most damaging punches in the world, but they were doing their part, like, by, hitting the target faster than you could sometimes, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where the fight,
was decided.
It wasn't entirely in your favour then,
Favor.
So, but
he said it as it is. He said it as it was. Yeah, go on, carry on.
But, like, I think my speed is what's going to win me this fight now, because if you look at my style versus Niall's style, maybe if me and Niall fought, it would, be harder. But in terms of how we match up against you, Hal, I feel like my style is a worse matchup for you.
Well, you got false hands.
You'll find out soon, bud.
I say less.
Who do you think's got the power advantage?
Probably Hal, I'll be honest. But I got the better technique, so we'll.
I don't know how you can say. Yeah, that's true.
It's a tough one. Natural power, 100% Hal, but when you have the technique behind it, and you do the bone stacking and whatever with your punches, then we'll really see on the other person.
Imagine you say you have a better technique and then you lose. How is this gonna make you look, bro? Like,
Hey, but imagine you saying you're going to stop me in the third round, but then you lose a decision.
that was cheeky. That was cheeky from me. I'm sorry in the second round. There we go.
Do you reckon your back foot game has improved, Ben?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've been working on it. I've sparred since I fought Sam. I've sparred a couple of times now. 3 times? 4 times? I'm not sure. But it's been the main thing now because I noticed I didn't look too great going backwards against Sam. Mainly because I got a bit too comfortable in there. But then when you look at me against Mark, even though in terms of offensively my performance was better against Sam, defensively it was nothing compared to what I was like against Mark. Sam was able to hit me relatively easy, you know what I mean? I left myself pretty open in that fight. Compared to how many shots Mark Boswell was missing against me, especially in the later rounds, I was surprised, and I want to have the same kind of offense, if not better, against Harley than I done against Sam, but I still want to have the defense to go along with it then as well.
So, guys, what's a prediction for you both? What do you think is going to happen? If you were to definitively say what's going to happen, what are you going to say?
After round 2, he's done.
What do you think,
He's
Ben?
done. After round 2, he's done.
Well, we'll see, isn't it? I think by the end, my prediction is that my hand gets raised at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So anything that happens before then, we don't really know. But what I think is going to happen, I think first round he's going to try and come in like he done against you, but he's going to realise that I have the speed to come along.
Yeah.
The technique.
The flash.
You could say that, but like, well, machine gun Scully. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go.
Well, you know, we can laugh and, you know, talk and whatever, but it's all about letting the hands talk at the end of the day. But I see.
Tell her it is. Machine gun Scully. Tell her it is, boy.
Well, like I said, I mean, I see a hard-fought decision, but hey, if I could stop you, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, you know, all due respect, like, but you seemed very off balance and, you know, swapping stances when you're coming into range and stuff. You made,
guy,
you know, you were a
guy.
bit of a dog against Niall, but you know, and you brought the fight, but some of the mistakes you made, which ended up causing you to lose balance in the first round, and obviously. Yeah, you know, I would score it as a knockdown, but you know, you didn't get dropped. You know, you weren't hurt. But if you do that kind of stuff against me over 6 rounds,
you're gonna capitalize it. Yeah, you're gonna capitalize on it.
I wouldn't even say I'd capitalize on it. I just feel like a knockdown is destined to happen if you do stuff like that. If you fix it, fair enough. But if you keep doing that, it's gonna catch you off balance. You know what I mean? And a knockdown is just, you know, asking for it at that point.
Alright, then once again, I'm gonna go in without no training, just so when I beat you, I'm gonna feel so much better. No training for me. I'm just going in when it's time.
I don't know if that would be strategic. I'll be honest, but because
I done it last time when it worked out for me.
Well, I guess yeah, but that's the thing. I didn't know what to expect. I've seen your fight now. You know, I mean, I've got a bit of footage on you. Obviously, you've got plenty of footage on me too, but. I've got 6 minutes of fight now to watch.
You're gonna be studying it every single day, is it?
Not every single day, but I've seen it a couple of times now, and I've looked at it, and obviously I've seen how off balance you are, how you like to swap stances, you know, walking into range, and yeah, you have good head movement, and you know, you were eager to get in there, but there's a few things that you look completely clueless doing, which I'm, like I said, looking to capitalize on.
No cap, I don't know shit about shit when it comes to boxing. I'm just, you know, I just pull up, hope for a good time.
Do you think Harley's weight advantage will play a factor, Ben?
What?
I'm
skinny as shit. What do you mean my weight advantage?
You're bigger than Ben.
Probably not that much bigger, oh?
No,
I mean,
it's a weight advantage nevertheless.
I don't think it'll make as much of a difference as it did in previous fights. Like Mark Boswell, I was a bit tentative to go in on the inside because of how much bigger he was, or how much you know, even though he was skinny as well, the fact that he's taller as well, he was probably about 11 stone, like, you know what I mean? So it was like I was a little bit tentative to go on the inside, and he had relatively decent technique as well, so that made his punches pretty hard. But with Harley, the weight isn't there, and I don't see the technique there either. I did feel him on the pads, and when the technique was there, he did it pretty hard. So I'll give him that. But I mean, I've seen it harder than that before. You know, I mean, in all the respect, like I said, he does hit pretty hard on the pads. Sparring isn't pads. You know what I mean? And I've taken bigger punches than that and thrown back.
Do you think with your weak defense against Sam, but you're
wait there. Before you ask this, let me cut in. Ben, what is your record in boxing?
1-1-1.
1-1-1. Okay.
1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw.
So Ben, you know, like you said, you're strong offensively against Sam, and weak on the defense. But like with Mark, you was strong defensively, but offensively, like you said, he was tentative. Do you think you have to mix that up? Do you think you have to use a bit of both against Harley?
Yeah, 100%. I need to have as good, if not better, offense. I might pick my shots better, more like maybe not the same pace, but you know, look for openings. You know, look at my opponent and find little weaknesses that I can capitalize on, and mainly use my brain a bit more. I was just swinging with Sam a bit, and I didn't necessarily. I was setting stuff up, but I wasn't in between rounds thinking, okay, what was he doing that I could capitalize on? You know, but I do need to get the defense back, like what I had against Mark. But I need to, like I said, combine the two and have good offense and good defense.
Do you think with Harley's high output and your relatively low input at times, do you think that will swing the fight in his favour, or do you think you will cope with that okay?
I've sparred loads of people who have high output, and that's something I've been working on over a long time in boxing, is being able to either cope with high output from other people or to be able to match their output, and sometimes even exceed it. So, obviously, I have a reputation for having low output, but it's not a definite thing about this fight. You know, this fight hasn't happened yet, so we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna make sure that I don't have a similar offensive performance like I had against Mark. I'm looking for higher output, picking my shots, you know, and just not being lazy. Basically, I'm gonna try and work in for the 6 rounds, like I said, with a hard-fought decision.
Harley, do you think your high output, throwing a lot of punches, do you think that's going to give him a problem?
Yeah, probably. 100%.
Do you think he will be uncomfortable on the back foot, going backwards? If it all depends on how a fight goes, to be fair. But like, if you do get him on the back foot, going backwards, moving a lot, do you think that will help you to fight better, or do you think it will be a bit more awkward?
That's a good question, actually. That is a really good question. But I can't give you the answer. I really don't know.
So like, if he's going backwards and holding his hands up, do you think there's more openings for you to hit?
Yeah, but there's openings for him as well, because he could skin him with a quick right if he's doing that. If I'm punching and he finds an open space, you could just hit me with a quick right. So I don't know. It's a sticky one. It's a sticky one.
So from that answer, do you think Ben's going to operate the counter punch strategy where he's going to look for you to throw first and counter you?
Nah, he doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have it in him. I don't think he has it in him.
So you think he's going to lead off more, do you?
Yeah.
Do you want to lead off as well, or do you not really care? Do you think you can do a bit of everything? Like?
Yeah, I'm gonna just do what my brain's telling me to do.
So Ben, with the clash of styles, with Harley being orthodox and he likes to switch during the fight, like you said, you think that's his detriment, that's his downfall. How do you think you can really capitalize on it?
Well, the fact that he keeps switching isn't a massive deal because I like having the southpaw advantage, but when I do spar people like my brother or you, for example, I know I do like occasionally sparring southpaws as well, and obviously having experience in both stances, I know what I can capitalize on or what different punches are more open in different when I'm sparring people with different stances. So one of my favorite punches is available when I'm sparring an orthodox, but if he switches southpaw, then my second punch is more available, so I get to use that. Then I'm actually excited for him to swap stances. I get to use my brain and give myself a chance to I haven't sparred a southpaw on YouTube, I believe. So people get what my abilities are when I haven't got that southpaw advantage. So
What are you saying? What are you saying, Ben? Want to place a bet?
nah, I'm not a betting man, but I'm making a risk as it is doing this. You know what I mean? Putting my brain cells on the line on YouTube. You know what I mean?
But I thought you said that. Literally, thought you said you're gonna win. You're gonna win from. Well, you're gonna win the match anyway. So if you're gonna win the match, place a bet, bro.
What do you want me to bet?
Yeah, go on. Wait, what do I want you to bet?
But like I said, I'm not a betting man. I'm not someone who puts money on stuff like that.
Nah, it doesn't have to be money. I'll take your YouTube channel.
No, I can't
so
say
you're
that.
confident in your ability. You ain't confident in your ability.
Of course
You
I'm
ain't confident.
in my ability. I'm just not willing to put something that has nothing to do with my actual boxing, because of course I can do other stuff on my YouTube as well. Why would I want to give you my channel?
Because
It's not
you're
like you're
confident
getting
winning.
much anyway. It's like 80 something subs. So
Yeah, nah, I just want to have it, innit? Just to say, put it in my trophy room.
yeah, this video, if you beat me, the video it can be like plastered everywhere. If
that's cool, but I ain't 12 anymore, so that's not really gonna appeal to me. That YouTube channel though, looking sweet. So
honestly, I would just say train hard and focus on the fight instead of what comes after it. I'd say.
you always gonna look at the future.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Guys.
But when it comes to this, I mean, you gotta. This is number one priority when it comes to boxing right now, because this is literally happening. What, next weekend? So this is the thing you want to be focused on, but not about what you win or what I get. This or that. Whether you win the fight.
There's just nothing. There's nothing to look forward to because I ain't gonna come. I know I'm gonna win. Like I already know. I try to be caught, but Ben, sorry, I know I'm gonna win. If I lose, God forbid. Damn, this is gonna sound like a dickhead, but I know I ain't gonna lose. I got too much riding on me to lose.
Right, both of you, question. Who do you think because it's 6 rounds, who do you think, because the fight will be longer, who do you think it suits? That's a longer fight.
I'll let you take it on first then.
Yeah, I think it suits me because I mean, if I was willing to, organize a 10 3-minute round fight against Mark Boswell and do 5 of the rounds, with low output, but still be fresh afterwards, and do 3 hard rounds, massive output rounds against Sam, with hard punches as well. I hardly threw a soft shot in that fight. Even when I threw jabs, they were hard jabs. I hardly took my time in that fight. And obviously with the situation as well, obviously you can always go longer in sparring than you can in a fight because of the mental exhaustion of the situation. When I was fighting Sam, I went 3 hard rounds, and I was only starting to get a little bit tired at that point. You know what I mean? But with this fight, yeah, like I said, I mean, I saw Harley take some breaks.
When was the last time? When did you fight? When did you? Ben, sorry to interrupt, but when did you fight Mark? Sorry,
I fought Mark May 16th, so nearly a month ago now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think with the 6 rounds now, I get more time to show off everything I've been working on, because I didn't do enough to show off against Mark, and I wasn't necessarily worked enough in my fight with Sam to show everything relatively then as well. Well, you haven't seen the ensemble, you haven't seen everything come together and see the whole package in one fight, and I think that's what this fight is going to deliver.
Do you think the criticism of your fight with Sam Do you think I was
Alright, wait there,
deserved?
Niall. Why didn't you ask me a question?
Because you don't give in lengthy replies. I like Ben's lengthy
Nah, I
rehearsed
got
replies,
nah.
but
Yeah,
He's not even
nah,
rehearsed, but I'll be honest.
well, you rehearsed it, you.
right, Harley. This is a question for both of you, but I'll ask you first, Harley.
Yeah, it's fun.
Do you think the criticism of Ben's fight against Sam is deserved?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't even watch the fight.
The criticism is that I'm picking low experience or easy fights for YouTube to show off.
Alright, a fight's a fight, bro. A fight's a fight.
I respect that.
Nah, it is a fight is a fight. Like it's. I'm not gonna get into it, but like, bro, a fight is a fight.
Do you think Harley should get credit for fighting me?
Oh, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
of course he should. Anyone who steps in the ring, someone could get knocked out in 2 seconds and they still deserve respect because the fact that they took a risk and got in that situation in the first place, no matter the outcome, they always deserve respect. So of course Harley deserves respect for fighting. He didn't have to, but he did.
So do you guys give each other both respect then, or do you think that's not the
Yeah,
case?
it's all love on my side. It's all love and respect on my side, bro.
Yeah, same goes, but obviously it's all banter and everything, and I'm looking forward to the fight. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're both stepping in there, giving it our all, and
Yeah,
putting on a performance for everyone, regardless of the outcome.
So, Ben, with your collection of fights and the more experience, do you think you're well equipped to win? Do you think like Harley's rawness is unorthodox technique? Do you think like that unorthodox technique is hard to fight? Do you think like that's gonna pose a problem?
I don't think it will cause a problem, but it will cause. It'll take me a bit longer to figure him out than someone like. Honestly, it would be harder to fight Harley with no experience, no actual boxing experience, than it would be to fight someone who's like a few months in, because they get taught to do different things and to not throw, go crazy or anything like that. They get taught not to do that, and they get taught to box. I feel like if Harley actually tried to box me, it would probably be easier for me to win because of my technique advantage and my experience advantage. But when you're coming in,
Thanks for letting me know, Ben. Thanks for letting me know, because now I'm just not gonna do that.
no, I mean, well, like we don't know. Everyone's different. You know what I mean? If you, what I mean, well, hardly any gyms are open anyway. You're not really gonna get.
I think to be fair, like the way Harley fought me, he might not fought you. I think everyone's different, like you gotta treat every situation different. Like Ben,
yeah, of course.
Like
every
Ben,
opponent is different.
Sorry to bring myself up because I didn't want to bring myself up, but like Ben's probably better at things than me, and I'm probably better at things than Ben, So I think it's a different situation to be in, and I don't think Harley's necessarily going to be the same as he was against me, but I think Ben might be not the same as he was against Sam or Mark or me, I think
Nah,
the style
question for you
of the
now,
matchup is going to be a different,
Alright, question for you now. Quick question.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon's gonna win?
Well, I think that you coming forward poses problems. It give me problems, Like it was tricky to cause like sometimes I thought you didn't know what you was doing, so how am I supposed to know what you're doing? So like that's gonna pose a problem to Ben. It's a question of whether Ben figures it out. I feel like the longer the fight, it does suit Ben because he's able to find a solution to those problems, or like it's longer for him to calculate. So I think you're gonna probably win the first couple, or at least the first round. You're gonna win rounds, don't get me wrong, but I think Ben will take the end round. So in all honesty, I think it's a level playing field. I think your energy is gonna bring the heat to him in the first few. But I think if he's able to ride the storm at the start, I think he can come through and maybe sneak a win. But I honestly don't know. It could be a draw. It could be a draw. It could be you sneaking. I I think any fight with you is going to be a close fight, you know?
Oh, don't say that now. No, don't say that.
No, genuine. I think like the first couple of rounds are going to be tricky and it may take time to work you out, you know. But Ben may
No.
have come on way better than we seen him against Sam, you know. You don't know.
Nah,
Everything's different.
Nah, let me ask you this though. What if he doesn't work me out?
If
Like,
he doesn't work you out,
like,
that's going to be a big problem, isn't it, you know?
if he can't work me out, that's gonna be an L, bro.
Like,
No, it's gonna be an L.
if he can't work you out or you can't work him out, there'll be a problem either way, you know?
Nah, but yeah. So I ain't gonna talk no more.
I think like his boxing brain is better, but like with your unorthodox
100%.
technique, I think it's really it puts a swing on it, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, like you were saying, you know, you think I could sneak a win or maybe a draw. Obviously, if he wins the first three and then I work him out and win the last three, that's a draw. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but like I said, I think it'd be a hard fought
When
decision.
the problem is, Ben, if he does win the first three, you're gonna have to knock him out.
Yeah.
Or put him down once.
Do you reckon you're
Yeah,
capable?
I'll have to put him
Do you
down
reckon
if he
Do you
wins.
reckon you're capable of knocking me out? One question. Do you reckon
What's
you are?
that?
Do you reckon you're capable of knocking me out?
It's not like a thing about if I hit hard enough. I think if I hit you
In a
with
good spot,
like, the best shot I can possibly give, and you're in a position where you can't prepare for it, and you don't see it coming, I think like a flash knockdown and stuff like that is possible. Knocking
you must be
out.
fast. For me not to see it coming, you're gonna have to be fast.
Hey, but
Really?
like
You
I'm
have
not
to be
saying, like I
fast.
said, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it does, then you know I think a TKO is way more likely than a KO. I don't see me like flatlining you or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But you know it is what it is. I might not drop you over 6 rounds, and you know that's okay. Like I don't mind that. But if I do drop you, then cool.
Yeah,
I'm sound with
That's
that.
gonna be
you know what I
big.
mean?
That's gonna be big, bro.
It will be, but.
big.
I mean,
Big.
now scored a knockdown against you. Yeah, because he was off balance, but he scored a knockdown in like 20 seconds. So who knows? And he didn't hit you with another shot quite like that.
Nah, it's this time. This time I'm going in with my socks off. This time I'm going in with my socks off. No shoes, just straight socks.
It's up to you, but I mean, the field will be on. I'll be honest. I don't know what you meant when you were saying you were slipping around. It must have been in your shoes, but honestly, I mean, I was stood there. I boxed on the field literally a couple of days before, and it was fine. You know, I don't see what you want about slipping around, but I think that was more you feeling, you know, like wondering why you fell down. I was thinking, maybe it's just because my shoes.
It's not even that. It was because I would have taken it if you knocked me down. I'm a good sport. I would have taken it, but bro, it was my shoes. My shoes were bugging. They were bugging out. I think it's a grip or something on them. Terrible. Nah, I'm going in straight socks, man. Straight socks.
Do any of you think it'll be a particularly dirty fight?
I think so, yeah.
Swear.
I think it'll be a good fight to watch, but like I said, if it's hard fought, then obviously it means he's going to have moments, and his moments are going to be those ugly, not ugly, but like dirty boxing kind of moments. You know, like, you know, when you guys got close and you would try to clinch, but he'd have to do like some cheeky shots and that, stuff like that. That's why I think if he does have his moments, there'll be moments like that, or moments like that. You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of clinching here. I didn't want to be like something to be weird. But that's boxing, yeah.
It's boxing rules at the end of the day. I'm not going to clinch you. You know, if I do clinch, I'm not going to clinch like all the time. Obviously, I warned Niall. I did tell him to stop clinching as much after the second round with it because I think he clinched like 15 times.
How many times I clinched?
You didn't initiate any clinches.
Exactly. There we go.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to clinch you that much. I'll just say that. I mean, I'm not someone who clinches often. I clinched Sam a couple of times, but they weren't stalling clinches. I was still working, you know what I mean? I was still doing stuff inside the clinch. When Niall clinched, he just grabbed hold of him and wanted to break in the action so we could be back at range. It's a good tactic, but when you're doing it all the time, it's a bit much. So obviously,
it gets boring as well. It does get boring. It's more interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll see in it. Depending on how the fight goes as well. If you don't do it well, the way you fought Niall, if you try that against me, obviously you leave yourself open to some, shots, for some good
Big
shots.
shots. Some big shots.
Well, probably I mean, if I haven't got natural power, but if I can get my technique behind my punches and take it as hard as I can possibly give, you ain't gonna like it. You know what I mean? I'll say that.
Yeah. Oh
But,
man,
no, it is what it is. This is why we got weight classes. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun regardless. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time, and regardless of the result, I'm just happy to get in there and put it on the line.
When this fight is done, bro, we're watching this video again, and I'm gonna need to all the shit you're saying now. I'm gonna need you to relive it.
I'm not talking crap. I'm not saying I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like everything you're saying now, bro, like the way it sounds is just it sounded mad to me.
This isn't trash talking, but this is just me being honest. If you get hit flush by someone the same size as you, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean?
But I think to be fair, if he wasn't saying those things, why would he take a fight? Like, do you know what I mean? Like Ben thinks he's gonna win. You think he's gonna win the end of the day. It is what it is. So I don't think it's trash talking personally.
But I never said it was trash talking.
It's hype, you know what I mean? But it's not me talking crap or, building myself up or to anything I'm not. This is just me saying I know my abilities. I know I got pretty fast hands. And, occasionally, depending on the opponent, I can have pretty good defense. And I'm not the quickest person to adapt. That's why I like doing 6 3-minute rounds. But I can adapt. I have the ability to do that. And I can read my opponent if they're making mistakes obvious enough for me to notice. So obviously I'm confident in my abilities. I wouldn't offer someone a fight and put it on risk putting it on my YouTube channel in front of both of my fights now. They've got, I think the Sam fight's got about over 400 views now. So I wouldn't risk that if I wasn't confident in myself and if I didn't think I had a good chance of winning. So it is what it is.
I feel like there's more pressure on this fight as well, because as you see, me and Harley, our videos been up, 5 days, 6 days now, whatever it is, it's got about 600 already, so I think Harley brings a name value, so I think there's more pressure either way, when at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, a fight's a fight, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, there's definitely could be more on the line in this fight, because if I lose, obviously it's not a good look for me on my channel, but also even if I lose like a close fight, it's like cool, fair enough. But if I lose badly, then if he easily beats me or stops me or something like that, that's not a good look. But obviously I'm doing everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. And if anybody does get stopped, it's not me. You know what I mean? That's not me trash talking. Once again, I'm just saying it how it is. I'm training and I'm working on tactics that will either win me the fight by decision or win me the fight by not a decision. You know what I mean?
Well, so you can't see yourself losing, no?
Of course, when I think about the fight, I'm not imagining myself losing. I can imagine me losing rounds, but obviously it's possible. You could beat me. It is very much possible. But when I think about the fight, I just don't see you beating me. Well, I haven't with any of my fights. I didn't see Niall beating me until he did. I didn't see Mark beating me until he started winning rounds. I didn't see Sam beating me, you know what I mean? And I don't see you beating me now, but that doesn't mean that you won't, you know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you don't beat me, but it's a fight at the end of the day. Nothing's 100%.
Amen.
So, you've seen in my fight with Harley, I was landing left hands now and again. Do you think you can do the same?
Yeah. And I see it being maybe not as powerful, but faster. And I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want Harley to know what it is I'm working on, but there's I wouldn't call it a mistake, but there was something you were doing that I feel like didn't benefit you, and that I'm doing something different after watching your fight to what you was doing that is gonna give Harley problems in doing what he tried doing to you.
So, Harley, how do you think Ben copes with
Yo.
pressure?
I think he's gonna crumble. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like now, you're like, I don't know, a solid guy. Like, well, I think you're a solid guy. But when I look at Ben, nah, I think it's straight crumble, bro. Like the way he's built and everything. Like no hate or shame or anything, but the way he's built, I can't see him holding up. I'll be honest with you. When he gets under pressure, yeah, he's done. He's done, bro.
We'll see. Well, you think you're gonna stop me? You don't think it's gonna go all the rounds?
Yeah, of course.
What round, bud? What round?
I reckon round two. After round, I reckon if I don't get you, you're gonna be gassed after round two. Like that's generally speaking. I think you're gonna be gassed.
Well, you'll see, but I mean, I feel like I thought I proved myself and my stamina in my last two fights, but if that's your prediction, that's your prediction at the end of the day.
But do you reckon you got better stamina than me?
Well, I don't know because you haven't fought as long as I did. I did notice you taking like pauses and breaks a lot in the fight with Niall, and that may have been because you was getting tired at the end of that round. It may not have been. I don't know. They didn't give it. There wasn't enough time to test your endurance. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I might do. I might not. I don't think you have better stamina than me, but I may have better stamina than you. Maybe about equal. But I don't.
You got better stamina, bro. You got better stamina.
Well, if you think I'm gonna gas after round two, then you know you were at 6 minutes. You fought Niall for 6 minutes and you didn't gas. You know, so if you think I'm gonna be gassing after 6, then you can't really say you think I have better stamina.
Nah, yeah, you got better, bro.
Harley, do you reckon you can keep going forward 6 rounds?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, there's one coming forward for 6 rounds, but the way you was throwing the punches, it's not economical. It's not efficient. You know what I mean? It'll be harder to throw punches like that for 6 rounds than to throw technical punches. And I think anyone who boxers can agree with me with that. When they throw from the elbows or they don't throw from their shoulders and they don't, use proper boxing technique and they kind of throw a bit wild on that, it is harder for them to keep it up for 6 rounds. And if you haven't tried doing it for 6 rounds, which I doubt you have, then you'll find out, whether or not you completely gas is one thing, but your arms will probably get tired. You will see, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, anyway, now that's all I got time for. But before I go, I want to say, I'm doing this for LG. I'm doing this for everyone at HB. I'm doing it for Dad Bonk. There we go. I'll see you when it's time to fight. Goodbye.
Good luck, bud.
Yeah, you too.
So Ben, is there anyone you're doing it for? Or is it for yourself?
Well, I just want to show everyone, obviously, what my abilities are and that anybody can do this. I mean, when I was 12 years old, I was getting bullied and I didn't see how I was going to solve that problem, you know what I mean? But when I started learning boxing, well, I remember I hit the kid and I realized, I shouldn't have needed to do that. But boxing and learning how to defend myself has made me a lot more secure about being, a relatively weak-looking person in society. When you aren't intimidating or anything, when you're sometimes the opposite, and like myself, sometimes you feel like, even if you don't, you sometimes can feel like you have a target on your back, and you can feel a bit uneasy about, going out in public or stuff like that. But when I started boxing, it made me, even though I knew I never wanted to use my boxing skills in anyone in everyday life, I knew that if I could, then and if everybody knew I could box, like ever since I started boxing, more people than ever have said that they could knock me out, but I've had in terms of genuine problems, I've had way less problems with people in school, in everyday life, or threats or anything like that, or kids thinking that they're in any way better than me. Like I've had no problems since I started kickboxing and then boxing as well. So I'm doing this for everybody who was either in my situation that I was in year 7, where they're getting bullied and they don't know how to get a way out of it, or don't know how to make themselves feel better about their ability, and if they feel like threatened by anybody, then this is just me showing that you can go from a 6 stone soaking wet, 5'1" skinny kid, that frankly pretty wimpy, scrawny kid in year 7. You can go from that to then someone who, without being disrespectful, you can be a good person that can show off their abilities and be humble at the same time. And this is just for all those people.
I'm not sure what it's doing.
It is on now.
Is it on now, yeah?
Yeah, I can see myself here.
Right. So what you saying was, I know it cut off the last couple of seconds. I think it's about respect, is it? Do you feel respected now?
Or was this fight? Harley,
is this fight out to prove you?
I will be.
So this fight is to prove or to want respect, is it?
It's not like something I feel like I necessarily need, but it's like something that I feel like I haven't got right now because of my fight with Sam. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ben, that doesn't even show you're a good boxer. It just shows that you pick easy fights or whatever." And I wouldn't say I lost any respect because I'm still having a fight at the end of the day. I'm risking putting everything on the line, and I had a lot to lose against Sam because I knew he didn't have much experience. I knew that if I lost, that's worse for me than if he lost. So it's still a risk at the end of the day, but I feel like I didn't get any respect for winning that fight. It was almost like a lose-lose situation in that sense in other people's eyes. And I feel like this now is to all the people who were saying Ben's taking easy fights. Ben can box, but he's not risking it. He's not fighting an equal matchup. This is just to prove to everyone. Literally less than 2 weeks after fighting someone, I'm scheduling another fight with someone who's literally just fought against you, someone who beat me and won 2 rounds against you, 2.5 years after you beat me. So in that sense, to other people, you would be, you should be a lot better. And he won 2 rounds against you, 2 more than I did in our fight, and I'm fighting him now. In people's eyes, I'm probably a massive underdog, and I can understand that, and I can kind of appreciate it because I haven't been a big underdog in a while. So it's cool and that. But yeah, this is just for all the people now who think that I'm not taking any risks because I'm on my YouTube channel. That I'm always looking for easy fights when this is the complete opposite. This is a complete question mark. He's fought for 6 minutes and hasn't seen a great deal of adversity from either gassing out or having, combos thrown at him. You kind of landed one punch at a time. Well, there were good punches. There weren't many times where you followed up, or there was a few things that you done that was good and that I'm looking to do as well. But there's a few things that you didn't do, or maybe you didn't have the time to do, or have enough time in that fight. That I've got plenty more time to work on and plenty more time to capitalize on.
Yeah, so do you relish the underdog status? Do you like being the underdog? I feel like honestly, in the past we've seen you struggle with pressure. I know you've changed. I know you changed since also, but the perception is you struggle with pressure. And with Harley's pressure, so I'd say you're an underdog, but I'd say you're not a massive underdog. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you relish proving the perception wrong? Do you like being an underdog?
I'd rather prove people wrong than prove people right. Everyone thought I was going to win against Sam, and I proved them right. So everyone was like, "Yes, what I expected," and that's their reaction. They're like, "Okay, yeah, fair enough." Whereas if I beat Harley, when everyone's saying, "Oh, Harley won most of the rounds against you, and you won all the rounds against me. How on earth am I going to beat Harley if I'm here, you beat me, therefore you're here, and then Harley had a draw against you, but only because he got dropped, that puts him like here. How the hell am I going to beat him? You know what I mean? In other people's eyes. So when I go out and if I do win, especially, if I can put on a good performance, if it's not necessarily close, and I can show to everyone that if I can deal with pressure, if I can prove people wrong, that what they think about me is wrong, then I'm going to get, instead of yeah, fair enough, it's going to be like, oh, whoa, I'm surprised, and like I said, I like proving people wrong more than I like proving people right. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Right, Ben, is there anything else you got to say? Is there any last words you got to say to Harley who maybe will watch us? Or just to anyone out there?
Well, you probably watch us, and first off, I want to say thanks for, offering and taking the fight. I wish you luck, and as much as I'll say it's possible that I stop you, regardless of what happens, I hope I hope I don't injure you or anything like that, and I hope nothing happens to me either. Of course, I'm not going to say that's my goal, which it isn't, of course. But if anything does happen, I hope you don't have to wake up the next day and if you have facial damage, you don't have to look at the result every day. You know what I mean? And I hope that if you lose, anybody who may hold it against you doesn't. I hope you don't take it like to heart or anything. I hope you can have this fight and move on, and regardless of the result, I hope both of us can move on and see past this and look back and smile about it and have a laugh regardless of the result. And like I said, good luck. And I hope you do your stuff proud, regardless of to what extent you expect yourself to do. And to everyone who is interested in the fight, I appreciate everything. Obviously, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, BenMG Scully. I'm not uploading a lot at the moment, mainly fight content. But yeah, I mean, if you like that kind of content, then definitely go check it out. I'd appreciate every comment, view, like, subscribe, anything. And make sure to subscribe to this channel as well if you're not already subbed.
Thanks,
some
Ben.
good content on. No worries. Got to plug in, at the end of the day. But yeah, just make sure to tune into my fight. It'll be happening on June 26th, and it'll be uploaded at 12 p.m. on June 27th. So mark that on your calendars, and hope you all enjoy. And thanks for being interested. I appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, I got to echo Ben's words. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I want to say I haven't put this on the record, but I want to say thanks to the comments about last week's fight. Win, lose, or draw, If it was an exciting fight for you, or you enjoyed it, or if you've seen me improve since last time, I want to thank you. It's nice to see nice comments, and I do feel like I do have a little bit of respect I never had before, So thank you guys for that, and I wish you all well. Tune in for Ben's fight, June 26th. It's going to be a good one. Cheers, guys.